Right, morning folks. It is cold and it's crisp this morning. Winter's on its way. It's not far off being here, but it's dry and the sun's trying to come out, so that helps things a little bit. Today I've got, as most of you know, I'm doing a project at the moment called Electric Landlady, and I've got the first feature into the, it's basically the opener to the track that I'm sorting out today, sorting out at the moment. And in order to do that, I've got a tree that's got a ridiculous lean on it with all its roots sticking up at the other end that's got to come down. However, as much as a pain that is, it will provide some timber for the place, and it's going to work out for helping for the build. And I've just got to get my head around how I'm going to do these A-frames and secure it in. Really, we should go and take a look. So here is my problem tree. You can probably see that it's leaning right over. So what makes that a problem? Well, first of all, it has to be an acceptable problem. When I took this place on, I knew that it was an unmanaged piece of woodland. I knew that nobody had been doing anything in here for like the past 15 years. It's westerly facing. We get a lot of our wind from the west. It's on sandy soil, so there's not an amazing amount of grip for the roots to be putting down into. You know, this happens, but it's a bit of a pain because, you know, some of the ones that have come over are the bigger, heavier ones that have been affected by the wind. And the big trees, I have a small chainsaw, and it ends up being quite a big job to get it down. There's a good example of the reason that they have to come down. There's a good example here. I don't know if you can see the roots on the back of that one, but where I've had to cut this one off. Now, at the end of the day, these things are essentially ticking time bombs. While they're way over there and out of the way of all the riders and the club members, then they can wait until I can get to them. But as soon as they're around where the club members are going to be around, that root system is not properly able to feed the tree rots, the tree falls down. Completely unpredictable, you don't know when it's going to happen. So you either deal with it or it falls. Either way, it's coming down. It's just, there's quite a few of them. The upside of that is, when you get them down, they do provide timber, so there is an upside. So that's a big leaning tree down. Now, I've got to be honest with you, when trees are in that bad of a shape and they've got that kind of real bad angle on them, they can be considered as danger trees. Well, I consider them as danger trees. The fact of the matter is, in the forestry industry, people do get hurt, and there is unpredictable things that happen. And quite frankly, I'm just glad that's down in a controlled manner. I chose when it came down, I chose which direction it came down, and I could also guarantee that there was no club members around at the time. So that's a load off my mind. I survived it, and it went down quite well, to be honest with you, but I am going to go and have a cup of coffee as a bit of a celebration. Time's getting on a little bit now, it's starting to get a little bit dark, but I do love a bit of a mock-up before I finish on a day and go home. What it allows for is the next day. Well, it allows for right now actually. I can get an idea of, if I put it together in like kit form, as what parts of the kit I've got and what parts I'm missing and I still need to make. And then if I've got everything, all the materials here, then it's when it comes to build time, I can just put it all together. It's just a case of screws and nails and adjusting things to size. So essentially what we've got is the entrance stroke qualifier to Electric Landlady, and what I can see straight away is I've probably got about 60% of this kit done, which is fine because I can think about tonight, you know, sourcing the rest of the materials and how I'm going to do it. Let's give you a little look from sideways on. So we are looking at a mock-up at the moment rather than a build, which means that the landing, well, there's some materials for landing. That doesn't necessarily mean that that's where the landing is going to go. But like I said, there's nothing better than mocking it up and giving yourself an idea of what's going on, to therefore make sure you've got the right materials when it comes to building. So about half of it's there, roughly. We'll have to do a bit of sketching up and we'll see what's going on. Right, tomorrow's another day. Right, back again. So we've got the kit form kind of sorted out now. Well, we've got parts of it done. Today with me I've got, who are you?
Adam Waterman.
How old are you?
15.
Where are you from?
Henry.
So that's Adam. You're going to be seeing a lot more of Adam on some of the vlogs, some of the edits. I'll explain the official reason why that is when we reopen on the 19th. But he's up here today and we're hitting up this first qualifier feature. Let's get some of this done.
So this is what's happened since we've started. All the braces are in, it's all secure. Made some knots in there so it sits smooth, and then about to start on the landing after we got the platform on.
Oh Jesus, I'd slow down a bit, son.
He is not slowing down.
Right, quick break there while I've filmed some of these guys sessioning around the park. Where we're at the moment is we've got everything nailed in place. So that's the main structure of it. Got some wood preserving on it as well. Basically everything's nailed in place and just waiting for the top deck to go on. Just putting the preserver on the top deck now, just so that we can I don't have to try and climb underneath it and paint the underside of it once it's all together. But essentially, like as I say, I can probably walk, it's probably dry this part now, I can walk on, get you towards the end. So stood right at the very end of it. Still a bit undecided as to where we're going to put the actual down ramp, but I don't know if you can see, but I can jump up and down on this now. It's all tightening. Adam's getting sorted out after his blasting session, which is either shown you a bit before this or afterwards. So you can kind of see from this angle it's not particularly high, but it will send you a fairly decent way as there's a bit of drop down in the slope. Again, not 100% decided on where the landing's going to go, but we've got all the materials to build the landing, so that makes life a little bit easier. Probably, well, Adam stood at the top of it now, you can kind of get an idea of height as to how tall it is from there. Just an entrance qualifier, so to speak. So basically this one will either put you off doing the rest of the track, which is fine, you know, there's plenty of other stuff to build up to it, or it'll warm you up into the entrance of the track, so one of the two. Anyway, we'll cut it here, go and sort out some drains because they're starting to fill up with leaves. I don't know if you can see, there's all like fresh loam falling down. It's like we're in a loam storm. Anyway, thanks very much for your time. Catch up with you soon.